Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to episode 2 of my Road to Runway Diva series. Thanks for being here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump into the video. I'm playing in a custom server again today, and the theme for this first round was Haunted Doll. I wanted to go for a sort of cute but also creepy, slightly puppet kind of looking doll. So I picked a slightly scary looking face, and then I put together a sort of cute hair combo, and I'm adding a bow on top of my head. I'm also just going through and picking out some black and white patterns that I know I want to use. When I saw the theme, I immediately thought of these new shoes with the socks, so I'm adding those. Then I'm going to go over to the dressing room and see what else I can add. I definitely knew I wanted stripy socks, so I'm using these ones and adding the stripe pattern to them. I also thought the cute sweetheart dress would look so cute for this theme, so I'm using that one, and I tried out a few patterns, but I ended up going for this dark lacy one, which suited quite well. I also added the collar and the sleeves from this top. I really liked the way that looked as well. Then I knew I wanted to layer a bit more on the skirt, so I used this dress, and I used the cute bow pattern for that one. At this point I really wanted to add more, but I was running out of time very quickly, so of course I had to go with my old faithful, the headscarf. If you know me, you know I overused this item like crazy, but I think it worked well for this theme. And then I also added on some gloves, and then quickly ran over to do my nails. I just made those black. I really wanted to add more here, which is why I was walking around in circles, but I didn't have the time, so that's it for this outfit. I think it turned out quite well and gave what it needed to give. I don't know why I did that pose by accident, but I think that the outfit looks cute and I'm happy with the way it turned out. And we got first place, which I was so pleased about. I'm so glad that everyone liked my outfit. And we got 50 stars, which is just amazing. So let's move on to the next round. So the next theme was Apocalypse, and I decided I wanted to go for a sort of apocalyptic cowboy kind of vibe. So I used the new cowboy hat and the new cowboy guns. And yeah, I'm just throwing on a few sort of ripped up layering items to make it look like I've seen some things, and just fiddling with the item adjustment as well to make the goggles on the hat sit nicely on my head. I know lots of people do a zombie for this theme, but I wanted to more look like the person that's fighting off the zombies, I guess. So yeah, I added this belt to look like a bit of a holster for my guns, I suppose. And then I added these tall boots because I love these boots. And then I also added these tiny little shorts from the Easter update, which might not be the most practical or realistic thing to wear if you're fighting off zombies, but I thought it looked kind of cute, so yeah, I used those. And then I just chose some hair. I definitely think a hairstyle I would do if I was in an apocalypse is just some braids to keep my hair out the way, so that's what I used. And now I'm just going to start coloring. I definitely wanted to go for my classic just browns and grungy kind of colors for this theme because it just kind of makes sense. So I'm picking up my patterns and just rushing away to get my outfit colored in time. I did actually almost run out of time this round. On this specific day, my time management was terrible, and I kept just running out of time for my outfits, even not finishing some of them. So yeah, I got this one done just in time. But I think it looks pretty cool. I like the way it turned out. So yeah, let's see what everyone else did for this theme. So that's my rather impractical but kind of slay apocalyptic outfit. I think it turned out pretty darn cute. So we didn't place this round, but I think all the winners totally deserved it, and they were all definitely much more realistic for the theme than me. We still got 33 stars, which is amazing, and I was very happy with that. So let's move to the next one. The theme for the next round was vampires or werewolves, so I decided to go for a vampire. I picked this really creepy face that I made a while back, and I went for slightly vintage black grey looking hair, and yeah, I just started layering up. I used this scarf again. Are we surprised? I don't think so. I immediately thought of this new dress for the dramatic sleeves and the flare at the bottom, and I added this shawl as well, which I think looked really cool for this theme. I actually really wasn't happy with the way that this outfit turned out, but I decided to leave it in anyway because we don't always eat and our outfits sometimes do flop, but that's okay and it happens to everyone. Here I was just trying to incorporate some more lacy patterns to make it look a bit more vintage, and also adding in some pops of that dark red to tie in my makeup look. I also added this flower thing to try and add a bit more detail because at this point I was already starting to hate this outfit. And then I added this jewel headband thing, which I think did look quite cool. Maybe it was one of the better decisions I made for this outfit. And then yeah, I added this ruffly skirt, which I think tied in very well. And then I also added the moongazer crown. And here I was desperately trying to think of something to make me hate this outfit less, but I couldn't, so that was it for the outfit. And here's my finished vampire outfit. I've definitely done other ones that I preferred more, but I don't think it was so bad. We didn't place here, but that's completely okay. I loved all the outfits on the podium, and we got 4th place with 46 stars, which is still amazing, and I was very happy with that for this rather mediocre outfit. So the next theme was cybergoth, which is not a theme that I am super familiar with or particularly good at, but I decided to just do my best. So I'm going for a red and black look. Please let me know in the comments if you think that I was on theme here, because I don't even know if I was on theme at all. A lot of the outfits that I see for this are like black and a bright green color, so I'm not sure if going for red was the right choice. But anyway, I'm just throwing on some of my favorite items, the skirt and the garters from these stockings, and then I decided to add some of the pieces from the robot set. Then I'm also adding the jacket from the Easter update, which I use all the time. It's just one of my favorite items, and I love the way it takes patterns and it adds so much detail to an outfit. And of course I'm also adding the rose corset because it looks so good in every outfit. And here I was just adjusting and messing around with the goggles. I've been loving wearing them just a little bit lopsided. I just think it looks cool. And I'm also adding this fishnet hat, which I don't know if it really suited the theme, but I love adding this hat just to any outfit pretty much. And here I just started coloring because I didn't have that much time left and I was worrying about finishing in time. I'm just using some of my favorite red, black and white patterns. I think I definitely bit off a bit more than I could chew here. I had so many items and not nearly enough time to get through them all. And unfortunately, I did also forget to color the rose corset, which somehow I didn't notice at the time and it bothers me so much, but I did forget, so that's it for that outfit. We have to talk about this one because how did she eat so hard? Like, she ate this theme up and I'm dying of jealousy. That face mask? Oh. And here is my sadly slightly unfinished outfit. I think it still looks good and the rose corset doesn't stand out too much, but now that I can see it, it does kind of bother me. Let me know if you think I was on theme. And we got 2nd place, and the Glamour Elite got 1st place, which she so deserved, and I felt honored just to be standing next to her. But we got 49 stars, which was amazing, and yeah, let's move on to the next round. So the next theme was Minecraft, which I've never done a theme like this before, and I wasn't really sure what I should do, but I decided to go for the Enderman, just because I feel like it would be easy to do a slightly copy and paste ethereal outfit, but just make it look a little bit like the Enderman. So I gave myself these purple eyes, and now I'm just throwing on a random hair combo because technically an Enderman doesn't actually have any hair. And then I just basically went and added a almost all black outfit with just pops of purple here and there. I don't really have that much to say about this outfit, other than that I decided to wear pants because he kind of has legs. And yeah, I just went around and threw on some of my favorite layering items. Do you guys play Minecraft? I've never really played it that much. I've always been more of a Stardew Valley kind of girl, but I would like to play it sometime. And now I'm just coloring my outfit. I'm going for all the darkest black patterns with just some pops of purple, although I think I got a bit carried away with the pops of purple and they became half my outfit, but I think it still looked okay. I was trying to make it look like those purple sparkles that he always has around him, and here I realized that I forgot to put on shoes, so I very quickly fixed that. And here I realized that the pattern that I used on my hat didn't suit the rest of my outfit, but it was too late to change it. So let's see everyone's outfits. And here is my Enderman outfit. I think it's pretty cute. I like the way it turned out. And we got second place, right next to the Ender Dragon and a glow squid. And I think we all look very cute together. Yeah, so we got 36 stars, and I think that round was great. So let's move on to the next one. So the last theme in this video was emotions, and I decided to go for depression because I guess I'm emo like that. So I decided to go for like a very dark, obviously gloomy kind of vibe. For some reason, the first thing that popped into my head was the song Happiness is a Butterfly by Lana Del Rey, so I decided to hold a butterfly on my hand and just go for very dark, sad colors. And of course I went for the headscarf again, which honestly maybe I actually need an intervention at this point, like maybe I really need help. And I used this jacket as well, so I'm really an item repeater. I really need to branch out a bit, that's for sure. And I think it's time for me to also add some new patterns into my favorited list there, because I'm starting to use this cobweb pattern just a bit too much, if you ask me. What are some of your guys' favorite patterns? Definitely let me know, because I need to try some new ones. And here is where I decided to add the butterfly, which I think was a really cool touch. I think it added just a little extra something to this outfit. And now I'm going with one of my favorite hat combos, this beret mixed with this fishnet hat from VIP. I think they look so good together, I always mix them. And then I wanted to add an even more dark and gloomy vibe to my face, so I decided to sort of make this rose coming out of one of my eyes and just like make it black, and I don't really know why, I just thought it could look cool. And then I just ran around and added some last minute details to my outfit, some jewelry and some gloves and a few other items. And yeah, I think it ended up looking pretty cool, and I think it got across the feeling that I was trying to portray. So yeah, let's see what everyone else did for this theme. So here is our Happiness is a Butterfly, slightly sad outfit. I think it turned out looking pretty cool, maybe a bit crazy on the patterns, but still looked good. and we got first for this one, which is a really nice way to end the video. I was so happy that everyone liked my outfit, and we got 47 stars, which is really good. So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing. I would love to see you in my next video, and yeah, bye!